What's up, YouTube? It's Mr. Ferguson here once again. Thank you guys for coming back for another video here in Central North Carolina. If you guys watch my previous videos, one of the previous videos that I had, I was over at my dad's house when I was sick with coronavirus, and I talked about, we went over his lawn. We talked about the brown patch we saw in his lawn. We talked about some of the pine trees in his lawn. Somebody made a very good suggestion that maybe the pH under those pine trees are not right as the rest of the lawn. Very good comment there. But I made the comment in that video that it was going to be in the very high 90s. I'll get to that story in a second. It just hit my head, but I want to tell you that story in a second. But we're in today, as the recording of this, we're in that week. We're at the end of the week. It's Friday when I'm recording this, but it is 98 degrees currently. And last night, oh my goodness, last night was Thursday. I went to play golf with my dad. I looked at the radar, big old thick line of thunderstorms, severe thunderstorm warnings popping up all on the western side of North Carolina, making that curve, and it was headed right towards us. I'm like, well, thank God we're going to get, it looks like a half an inch to 3/4 of an inch of rain. So anyways, I said, well, I'm going to try to risk it and go play golf anyways. Got to the golf course. Dad said the same thing. Wasn't many people there. It was very muggy. It was that juicy atmosphere that you feel when you're outside, at least in North Carolina. If you don't know what I mean, in North Carolina, you can just feel the juiciness in the air, like this is thunderstorm type weather. And we got there. We got started playing golf. We warmed up. We saw the rumblings. The course is so bad for signal on my phone, I couldn't look up the radar. But I want to tell you, it is like we are cursed here. That storm front came all the way to right where I live and right where we were near the golf course, and it just stopped and began to fizzle out and go south. I mean, literally stopped an inch from like on the radar where my house was and to begin to just go south. Just stopped. It went all the way through North Carolina, but when it got to where I live, it just began to go south. We didn't get a measurable amount of rain out of that. Absolutely unbelievable. So it wasn't meant to be. Now we've got another warning today on the radar just as I was coming out to film this, that we've got a severe thunderstorm watch till 8 o'clock. So I'm hoping to God this one will sweep through and give us some rain, because we desperately need it. I'm going to turn the camera around, and that's kind of what I want to talk about in this quick Wednesday video for you guys. So let's turn around and let's have a little chat. So I should have recorded previously, but I'm out here watering, and this section was looking absolutely terrible over here, and now it looks pretty dang good compared to what I was looking at here earlier. I need to mow my grass before I go on vacation. This area was also struggling. Everything's looking dry. It's 99 degrees, the wind's blowing, the moisture is few and far between. But if we come over here, you can see right here, look at this, guys, look at this. This is terrible looking, right? I watered the other day, but I didn't water this one section as a test, and it's stressing out ridiculously bad now. Remember, we got Jonathan Green Dense Shade Mix along the edge. We've got the Turf Type Tall Fescue in this area. Everything you see stressed out right here is Turf Type Tall Fescue. But I wanted to show you this as I'm watering this section. I'm letting it set. I'm not measuring it in gallons. I know I should be doing that. I'm measuring it in time. I'm gonna let this set here, even though we got rain coming. For the purpose of this video, I'm gonna let this sprinkler run just as long as I did over in this section, because this section looked like that. And now, do you see any spots? You see none. The ground is so dry, it's so thirsty, that I believe in the next 20 minutes, if I come out here and begin to film again, you may not even be able to see these spots. We'll see. If you are, then we'll show it to you. But I want you to get a good visual of this, because for you, it'll be just a second. For me, I'm gonna go in, and in about 20 minutes, I'm gonna time it. I'm gonna come back out, and we're gonna look and see if, now, the sprinkler is covering a pretty good section right here. It's not just right here, it's covering all the way down towards the trees and back. And so as you can see, I've got it overlapping, hitting the concrete here, so I'm making sure it's getting all of this. So I want to give it good 20-25 minutes, and we'll come out, we'll film right here, and we'll see if the ground is so thirsty it's just soaking this up, and if it's making a huge difference or not. So be right back. All right, so it's been roughly about 20 minutes, and you can still see it. It looks a little bit better after 20 minutes, but I can definitely tell right here still looks It looks a little bit better. It looks better more in the middle, down at the bottom. That makes sense because this sprinkler that I've got here that's putting it out, the wind is blowing a lot, so I don't know if it's getting good direct water here. But it's only been 20 minutes. I think after maybe 30 or 45, it may completely go away. This area in the front has gotten double the water that this section has, and it didn't stress out amazingly, but now it's reached the point where it is. So we tried a little test here, but I was hoping it would come out and it would really help it. But again, a lot of this is that Jonathan Green, and you can just see it is super hot. It is super muggy. We've got Hydrotain down. We've got the 12-ounce base rate down. We've got the additional 3 ounces we did recently last week or so to really try to help. It is very humid now, so I know Hydrotain is in effect and kicking in, but you just see what we're dealing with here. So as the water moves down, we'll go on the side and look at the side over here. You can see along the trees where it's stressing out a little bit more, but ultimately you see how it's shaggy, it's long. I've only cut it once recently, but this is where it's more stressing out. You can see Mr. Brandon, he planted GCI turf, and they're not watering a lot, but you can just see without water, it's really dying off. But ultimately, if I walk up here to the front, I haven't watered any of this right side of the front yard today. I did do under the tree over here next to Miss Ferguson's car, but ultimately, it's not looking bad. My watering has really helped, and I think in addition to Hydrotain, it is stressed out a little bit up here by this pole, and I do need to get a cut on this, but I'm hoping tonight we will get some rain out of this. We'll get some rain because we desperately need some cloud rain. If we don't get this rain tonight, and I leave, this is the last time I'm going to see my lawn, and you guys will see the lawn before I leave and come back into what we find. And I'm just afraid if we don't get a good amount of rain tonight or tomorrow, which there's nothing in the 7-day forecast for rain besides today. Today is the best day for the next many days. So ultimately it's looking good. And I'm gonna get a mow on it. We'll come back after the beach. We'll see what we're working with. It may be a video talking about Mr. Ferguson's lawn is completely dead. That Hydrotain didn't work. It just couldn't pull the weight of no natural rain, and Hydrotain just isn't enough. But you can see just in this shot right here, see how this is blowing in the wind? If I get down here, maybe you can see a little more. See how this grass is so long it's blowing, but over here it's stressed out and there's just dry spots. So we've got lots of dry spots. So trying to water, trying to get rid of the dry spots, trying to band-aid this thing until we get some good natural rain. So that's the video for today. Just want to show you what I'm dealing with. Very high heat, no water. North Carolina, man, this is just what it is. And in the end, as I've said previously, I don't want to back out of this statement. If it does so happen that my lawn just begins to fall apart, because we know that our K levels are pretty low right now, our potassium, then so be it. We'll just have to deal with it. We'll have to start looking at reseeding in the fall, and looking at some of these areas like up on the road and how we may want to dig and get some rocks out and things of that nature. So God bless you guys. I'm not going to turn the camera around. Thank you for watching today. Let me know how your grass is holding up in this heat. I know some of y'all are dealing with fungus. Some of you guys are dealing with no rain as well. I feel your pain. This is the part of summer that is just very brutal and very difficult. So hope your lawns are doing well. Give the video a thumbs up, and hopefully when we come back from the beach, we'll have a video rolling into a lawn that is still existent. God bless you. We'll see you next time.